because I'm like, I don't know if you listen to Daily.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I stopped. I used to listen to them constantly, but last year they reported on the NAR lawsuit.
Yeah.
It was such a, it was horrible. Like the reporting, the tone, the messaging was not only inaccurate, it was just like, it was despicable, right?
Yeah.
So I stopped. I'm like, okay, I know this topic, so now I can't trust anything else they report on.
Thank you.
They just did a follow-up yesterday or today. You should listen to it. I sent it to all the partners. I'm like, this is stupid. Like and it doesn't even make sense. They're still basically accusing us of finding workarounds for the law and like, you know, it's just the tone is.
That's
so
crazy to me.
It's so poor, and it's all for ratings.
Of course,
everybody hates real estate agents.
In today's episode, we're diving into how Travis Gray built a real estate business rooted in trust, strategy, and storytelling, and how he scaled that from local transactions to global reach, all while staying true to his Annapolis roots. So, Travis, welcome, man.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, dude. It's a running theme on the pod. I like origin stories. All right. So I want to learn a little bit more about yours. Where'd you grow up?
So I grew up in Severna Park.
Okay.
Maryland. You want to just kind of keep
rolling, brother. Okay.
Yeah, so I grew up in Severna Park. Back in the 70s, 80s, my father grew up in a real estate family. He was this is before the big nationals.
Okay.
So he was a broker. Chris Coyle, who then started Champion, was a friend of his and also fierce competitors. And then he was a builder, custom home builder, and developer.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, so I grew up in that world and hated real estate. Wanted nothing to do with it. Because, you know, he was doing his job and building a base to take care of his family. But as we know, it can become all consuming.
Yes.
So I wanted nothing to do with real estate. Graduated high school. All I wanted to do is make films.
Okay.
And ski.
Love that.
And I really wanted to make ski films.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you put an application in with James Bond?
No, but we, I don't know if you remember, if you watch ski films, but, what the heck's that guy's name? He did things like Blizzard of Oz and License to Thrill.
Oh, really?
Glenn Plake was in it.
Okay.
The Mohawk.
Okay.
So yeah, I graduated my senior year with my third Mohawk and wanted to make films. So.
Hell yeah.
But I also really just wanted to ski. So I only applied to Colorado State and University of Colorado.
Okay.
And I want to get as far away from Severna Park as I could. And that's as far as my parents would let me go.
Okay. Gotcha.
Cause they had a place out in Colorado at the time and spent time out there. So I didn't get into CU. So I went to CSU. All they had as far as a film school was broadcast journalism.
Interesting.
So I did that for a little bit and realized this is just learning how to make really crappy local news stories. Like, you know, you're shooting a scene of a car accident. You like always keep a baby shoe in your pocket so you can throw it on the street.
Oh my God. And sources are saying there might have been a child involved in this. Yeah. Oh my God.
So I was like, all right, this sucks. So then there was this thing called recreational resources. Like,
okay.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Like learn how to run a ski resort.
Yeah.
So I got into that and just realized pretty quickly that was essentially a business degree with zero respect or.
Gotcha.
You know,
okay.
So I scrapped that and just switched over to got my business degree.
Okay.
In there, I went to Australia for a bit, did some school down there, and then, like literally, I graduated in December. Actually, walked the stage with West Tower. We didn't know each other.
No kidding.
Yeah. And it was weird because it was a December graduation because I had taken a semester off for knee surgery. And anyway. So it's like 2 weeks before graduation. I'm like, what the f am I going to do? Like,
an age-old tale.
Zero thought to what I wanted to do.
Right.
but I'll come back to what I thought I wanted to do because I saw that question on there. So I moved up to Aspen and worked out the rest of the season, and I went to Europe, backpacked around, came back, and literally didn't have enough money to get a cab back to the house.
Oh my God.
But still love TV, and I want to make documentaries. So I went to work for Discovery Channel for a short period as a temp, and then worked on a Jerry Bruckheimer film.
No kidding.
For 2 months. Yeah. Enemy of the
Damn.
State.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. That's a good one.
That was eye opening and made me realize I wanted nothing to do with Hollywood.
Oh my God. What was eye opening about it?
Just the people and the mentality. It's just, they live on a different, no offense to it, because I had some good friends, but the whole scene is like, you know, and it's Jerry Bruckheimer, and there's no such thing as no.
Right.
You know, it's, he explained that to me several times. I was his personal assistant.
Oh my God.
So that was wild. But we were working like, I don't know, 18-hour days.
Damn.
For 30 days straight. I mean, it was nuts, but it was wild. So I went back to Discovery.
Okay.
For another year and a half, got some production, but realized that's just a corporate job. So then I ran into a buddy from high school. I was out smoking cigarettes at the time. I'm out smoking a cigarette. I ran into this guy who I went to high school with. I'm like, what are you guys doing now? He's like, oh, we have this little production company. And he's like, in fact, I'm going to send you the script we just wrote for a feature film. I'm like, okay. So he sent it to me. I read it that night, quit my job the next day, and came on board to produce this little independent film, which we pulled off. We got it done.
Yeah.
That was an epic experience. And then I relayed my relationships with Discovery. This is totally off topic, I guess. But
No. Go.
So we built this little production company from literally when I joined on as a partner after the film. These guys were borrowing a janitor's office and a friend of theirs post-production company house, and they were doing like music videos.
Yeah.
They actually did for Jimmy Haha. They did, what was that song in the barn? Kind of. They produced one of the early Chicken Shack videos.
Oh, okay. Nice.
High, I think it was called. Anyway, so then we started building a business and doing a lot of stuff for Discovery. And then by 2008, we were one of the biggest post-production houses in the DC market. We were now in a 10,000 square foot building in Silver Spring.
Damn.
I think we had about 60 employees and film crews all over the world. We were doing a lot of real estate stuff. We did this, a lot of stuff for HGTV. We did one of the early seasons of the original Flip This House.
Okay. Yep.
That crazy guy.
Damn.
So we were building and young and aggressive and like not really saving anything. So 2008 came and the world changed. And for us, that meant all the shows we had in production, everything we had greenlit in the pipeline, everything got put on hold. And we had made it through the .com because we were smaller then.
Right.
But now we're a monster that needs to be fed an enormous amount to keep the lights on and the people paid. And so we hung on as long as we could. And finally the writing was on the wall. And we're like, we got to shut this down. And
that's crazy.
A few years after that, two of our closest competitors who were a little bit smaller than us, a little more nimble, they not too long ago, one sold, I think, for 40 million and the other sold for 50 million.
Oh my God. So you're like, shit, if we could have just held on a minute longer.
Yeah. But everything happens for a reason. So, but we got wiped out. I mean, we got literally, don't ever sign a confessed judgment if you're going to sign a commercial lease.
Really?
Yeah. So one day we woke up and we all had, I mean, our lease was 30 grand a month and we were 2 years into a 10-year deal.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And of course the landlord was taking a hit like everybody else.
Right.
And so one day we all woke up and had, I think, $450,000 judgments against us.
Look,
it's like, this sucks.
Okay. Thanks.
So I was beat up, and it had been like about 12, 13 years in the television world, and everything had changed. Reality TV came along. So I accomplished my dream goal early on when I produced my first Discovery Channel, when I was personally acted as the producer on this Discovery Channel documentary.
Yeah.
Travis Pastrana was in it, Jack Roush. It was like,
oh, that's cool.
But then by the end, we were pitching shows. I was head of development at the end. And so my job was to pitch the shows to the network.
Okay.
And we'd go in and I'd be looking at the shows. I'm like, I don't want to see any of this crap produced. I would never watch it. I don't want to be a part of it. So the time was there mentally, despite the pain. So I was like, all right, well, I had already moved back to Annapolis. I'm like, wait, I don't know, what am I going to do now? I figured I would, at some point later in life, I'd get my license in real estate and start a brokerage on the Eastern Shore and see out my years there.
Oh, Sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the time, I'm single, no kids. I think I had a roommate who was also taking a hit, a buddy who basically having a tough time. So we lived in this little townhouse in Hunt Meadow, and
Heck yeah.
at the time I was big into bow hunting.
Oh yeah.
And it was kind of fortuitous because we're so broke, and I'm starting to get my license in real estate. I'm like, I guess I'll do real estate. I'm like, I'm not going back to DC to work for that G or anything. So it's broke. I mean, in that first year, 2009 was my first year, and everybody was leaving the business because it was just, the deal boards were empty. You know, there's nothing. And so that was a rough start, but I was like, it's just me. I can figure this out.
Right.
But we ate venison literally 2 to 3 times. It was,
and I have acquired a taste for it. It is delightful.
Figured every which way to cook it. It was, yeah. So anyway, where am I?
So you start in 2008 or 2009, and where'd you start at? What brokerage?
I was with Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
On Jennifer Road.
Okay.
And Mike Murray was there, actually.
Oh, nice. There you go.
And Mike and I had gone to elementary school together, so it was like a great group of people. Had some good mentors and teachers there.
Yeah.
But I was only there for 2 years, I think.
What were those first days like? You kicking yourself because now you're doing what Dad was doing?
No, I was I quickly realized like all the skills that I had from my television career, I didn't realize how well they would apply to real estate.
Yeah.
From negotiation to the, and back then it was like what people like you are doing now. No one was doing any of this shit. Like no one was doing video.
No.
I was the first person in the Annapolis market that I know of that did a video. And we did it like, I got my old business partner, the production side guy, and we had dollies and it took like a month to do. And, it was super expensive. But yeah, so I mean, that first year, I think I was negative $5,000. So I didn't make a single dollar. And with all the fees and marketing and stuff. So I was negative. I'm like, this really sucks. But it kept getting, the next year I made a little bit. The year after that, I doubled that. And the year after that, and it just kind of slow build. Because I knew growing up in a real estate family, recessions were just part of life. So
That's cool. That's true.
I'd seen these come and go and watched my dad deal with it. And so I was like, all right, we're at the bottom here. Like it's gonna change. We're gonna come out of this recession.
Right.
And I wanted to have my, a little bit of experience under my belt, because I figured everyone's getting out, I'm getting in. Once things get easy again, people will flood back into the real estate business.
Exactly. And by that time, you'll have 2-3 years under your belt where people think of you now as Travis the agent and not whatever you were doing before.
Well, yeah, because I don't know about you, but like my theory was even for the people that know, like, and trust me, they know real estate's a complicated transaction. And so I figured no one's going to really want to do a deal with me. And I honestly probably don't want to do a deal with, I don't know. I needed experience to be able to serve the clients.
Right.
And so then it just grows. And then, 15 years later, every deal, there's still something that comes up. You're like, what
the hell is this?
Yeah. I'll tell you about times I'm like, I don't know to tell you, this is a first for me.
This is there's been countless times where that stuff's come up, man. So when did you feel like you made it? Or at least you were like, all right, this is something that I can do.
I feel like that's a constant.
It changes.
Cycle,
like
right?
a moving of the goalpost.
Yeah. There's that diagram where it's like you get in, you learn a little bit, and you think you're up here, and then something happens and you realize, shit, you're still way down here. Like it is a constant. Anyone that thinks they've figured this game out is naive, because you're never done. I'm never done learning and getting better. And, I think we've all gone through different phases too, like where you get in, you start having some success, you start getting a little cocky.
Yeah.
You start, and then you get knocked down, and then you come back and you do things a little different, a little better. And then so, so it's just like I look at it as a constant climb of trying to do better, be better, and work with better people.
Like skiing uphill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every now and again, you're going to get knocked over by some 12-year-old kid.
Yeah. So you're like, what did you want to be when you grew up? I don't know. You're too young for this, but back when I was in elementary school, there's a thing called Kids Baffle.
Kids Baffle? What is that?
It was like Jeopardy for elementary school.
Okay.
And it was one elementary versus the other.
Yeah.
It was live TV, filmed in both.
You know what? I kind of do remember. I remember, like, was it early Saturday mornings or something like that? And you would see two schools going against each other and be various problems that they would have to solve. Yeah. Okay, perfect.
So for some reason, my 5th grade teacher thought I'd be a good member of the team. So we're getting ready for this, and they sent out, all the kids were going to get asked. The host was going to ask, like, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Right.
Indiana Jones had just come out. I was like, I want to be an archaeologist. And so I'm talking to my older brother, and he had me convinced up until the last minute for my answer to be, I want to be a gynecologist in Southern California.
There you go.
And I'm like, what's a gynecologist?
He's like, just trust me. It's
something like, something got me at the last minute. I'm like, I don't think I should say that.
I don't think that's good.
So I went with archaeolist and proceeded to get every question wrong. And
they're like, you would be perfect for archaeology.
Neighborhood embarrassment.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Where'd you end up going to high school? Was it Severn?
Oh, Severna Park.
Severna Park. Okay.
I went to Severn in 7th grade.
Right.
For 1 year. And up until like 2 months ago, I would always say, my brother and I both went there for our respective 7th grade years. And I always say, he was told to never come back, but I was not invited to come back or something like that. And my buddy who went there, who at the time, he's like, dude, that just means they kicked you out in the summer.
That's it. That's all that means.
I was much more comfortable in public school.
Well, it's got its advantages, man. It really does, especially at Severna Park too. I mean, it's a damn good school. When did you've been growing the business for a while, obviously, but when did you decide, waterfront is going to be one of my wheelhouses?
Yeah. So back at the time, I remember there was early on, they brought in a coach. She was talking about, working with different people, and she met with some agents, and they put out their brochure, and it was like, we do foreclosures, we do luxury, we do, and she's like, this is shit. She's like, pick what you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And go with that. And other business will come, but this shotgun approach. So I was like, well, I grew up in the Severn River. I know, that was what I was passionate about. So I sort of focused in on that. And that kind of went along with my cocky phase when I started getting some success in there. And I was putting way too much emphasis on myself.
Yeah.
And instead of my clients. When I found myself looking at the real producer's book, like, where did I fall? I'm like, somewhere I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is not what it's about.
Yeah. Been there.
And it all changed for me, having kids later in life. And as you know, it changes everything. It changes priorities, perspectives. And so I had a big shift, and the big shift for me was, deciding who I wanted to spend my time with.
Right.
And so, my mantra that it just sort of came up and I continue today is my goal is to do the right thing and work with good people. Because like we were talking about earlier, I mean, you're working your ass off, you're taking risk, you're, running out from a family picnic on a Sunday to solve a problem, all this stuff. I'm like, if I'm going to do that, I want to do this with people who share mutual respect and people who actually appreciate the service that we provide.
Yeah. I get that, man. And, that's like, that's the age old question. I've had discussions about this with several other agents and family members. And for a while there was, tension in our household because I was focused too much on work and too much in growing myself. And I had to take a step back and be like, this isn't about you. I mean, do you really need your tombstone to say greatest real estate agent alive? Or do you need it to have a much longer resume with a lot of other things on there? And you can still represent the people that you work with better than most and pretty damn well. But at the same time, that can't be everything that you do. You got to be a father. You got to be a brother. You got to be a husband. You got to be a friend. Like you got to be all these different things. And I found myself for a long time, probably until like 2 years ago, just getting so caught up in the rat race that it was like, man, I really need to recheck my priorities. Dude. It's getting out of hand, and what's all this for? Yeah, it's nice that you can make a good living doing it, but you'll run yourself ragged if you let it.
It's not everything.
No, it's not, man. No. It's not.
Have you written your own obituary yet?
No, not yet.
I just did the other day.
Did you?
It's pretty wild. I recommend it. Well, I'm
scared to.
Well, it really kind of helps focus in on everything you just said, like the things that kind of puts in focus, like who we want to be today.
Yeah.
And the kind of father, the kind of husband, the kind of friend, all that. The real important shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Real estate's something we do.
Real estate is something we do. And sometimes it's hard to separate that because it feels so consuming when you're in it and doing it and you're trying to be the best for everybody. It's, my wife and I get in fights over the phone stuff all the time. She's like, could you just put the phone down? It's dinner. It's family time. Yes, I can. However, you're forgetting I have 50 other people in addition to you guys that need something from me. And all the time. And I don't want to live by the phone, but I kind of have to if we want to keep living here and doing cool stuff. Yeah. So, but it's, she's right. I mean, I do need to step away from it sometimes, and it's hard. It takes patience and time to get used to that. It's not easy, man. Nope. What do you think about the state of the market right now?
Everyone's asking, I don't know. I mean,
it's hard to read.
It's really hard to read. I mean, my short answer is it's wonky.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been saying that for 5 years now.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think, the real estate market's always, or the market, the real estate market, everything's always shifting one way or the other. It's trying to figure out how to deal with it, how to best make the most out of whatever market there is. So the shifting that we constantly have to do.
What do you think are the biggest factors with buyers and sellers right now? Is it at least with your clients? Is it mortgage rates? Is it economic uncertainty? Is there just not enough good houses out there for people to buy?
Well, I don't know. I've been really lucky. I mean, I've dealt with a lot of cash buyers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with means that are looking mostly for lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've referred, I think, 3 people to Florida just this year. And then somebody to Cape Town, somebody to Napa. I mean, it's like, yeah. I think we're going to see a lot more of that in Maryland.
Yeah.
But no, I think the problem with our market now is families like mine. We got in before COVID, great interest rate in a smaller house. We're definitely at the phase where, it'd be nice to
move up.
Add another room, someplace with a lock.
Right.
Get away from that. An office. My office was.
It would be nice.
I had an office for about 2 days, and then it became the toy room.
Yeah, well, as it does.
Now I got a shed.
I look forward to popping by and just seeing you working in the shed.
Yeah, so when I'm not at the office, I could lock the shed behind me. But we're not selling. I mean, we're at an interest rate that, I did the math on the step-up house that we would do in our neighborhood, and it would have tripled my mortgage.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we're perfectly fine where we are.
Right.
Love it. But I think there's a lot of people like that would be. So I don't know about you, but I've been it's the sellers I've been dealing with. It's either death, divorce, diamonds, people getting married, and then forced downsizing.
Yeah.
I think I have 2 right now where I'm dealing with the children. They're putting their parent in a home and have to move the house.
Yeah.
You know,
that's it. I mean, if you don't have a lifestyle need, then you're just not moving.
No. I'd hate to be a buyer in this market.
It's the worst. It's the worst. We've put out about 30 contracts that are at or above asking, minimal contingencies from like January 1st to now. Got none of them. Got none.
Like at least 30. It's like probably 60 hours worth of.
Yeah.
It's
awful. And so then I'm like looking at my wife. I'm like, maybe I need to invest in like a rope and a chair because this is outlandish. What the else do I have to do to get a contract around here? But it's that kind of market right now for most buyers, especially in areas people want to be in.
Yeah.
So it's tough, man. But in terms of like luxury buyer behavior, have you seen any changes in the last 12 to 18 months?
It seems like the high end is softened, but then you have like, hear about the war door deal.
Yeah.
Like out of the blue for a record sale that wasn't even on the market.
Yeah.
So I think that deal is an anomaly. I don't think that's any sort of sign of a new norm of home values. Maybe eventually, but yeah, I'd say in general, it seems like it's softened. You're seeing properties sit a lot longer.
Yeah.
Than they ever have.
I think so. And we had a damn good run for 4 years there where if you had 4 walls and a view, it was just going to get whatever you were asking on it. And I think more people are being selective now because of some of the factors that we talked about, unless they're cash buyers that are like, we can afford to do this and have a weekend place or have a place that we can eventually retire to or whatever. We had talked offline a little bit about this NAR settlement and commission lawsuit and how that's impacting the industry and agent-client relationship. What's your take on it?
I mean, my experience is 99% of the deals are happening just the way they always done. I think the media, like I was saying with this certain podcast, national, I think it's like one of the number 1 podcasts in the world. They covered it, did a follow-up cover on it today. And it's what the media is, how the media is presenting it is not only just wrong and biased, but it's just not, it doesn't do anyone any good because they're not telling the whole story. So I think there's a ton of misinformation out there.
Yes.
But I think once people understand how it all works and, once a seller understands, in my experience, they're like, oh yeah, absolutely. That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Let's do it that way.
Agreed. And that's how it's been for us. Like we have had discussions about it with clients. None of them have had any real concerns. It's just like another hurdle for us to have to jump through because the information that's out there is flat wrong.
Right.
I was reading New York Times articles and Washington Post articles, especially when this thing first came out. Like, you no longer have to pay commissions. Yeah. It's like, you really didn't need to before, but if you wanted to do it all yourself, then you're good. But you're paying a commission because you don't have the time or the network to do it. And I'm sorry, are agents out there armed with weapons? Like, you're going to sign this or you're dead.
That's
like, it doesn't happen
to me. Like we didn't have choice. Of course you have choice. Like, call Redfin.
Exactly.
Do it for 1%. They put their signs all over the place. You can pick whoever you want. You can do it yourself. Like
it makes no sense. It's like if the only store in your town is Walmart, but you're like, I just can't go to Walmart. Like, okay, so then you make a decision and you drive further to go to whatever store you want to go to. Are you sending a lawsuit to Walmart?
Yeah.
I can't believe you're the only one in here. It's wrong. It's not right. You should, we're going to take action against you. Yeah. And then the judge being like, you know what? That is right. Like, let's go ahead and let's make Walmart pay a fine for what? For being there? What are you doing?
The attorneys made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, they did. And they're trying to get more.
But I think it's really a disservice to the consumer out there. I think it's creating confusion. But like I say, once people understand how it works, then it's kind of a non-issue.
Exactly. Like I haven't run into any issues with it. I just get lambasted with these shitty takes from podcasts or whatever else on it. Speaking of podcasts and other ways, what do you find is like the best way for you to stay informed on changes in real estate and technology and policy and stuff that goes on?
I mean, first of all, don't listen to national news ever, because it doesn't
apply to here.
I mean, we're in such a focused niche market that varies by neighborhood. Yeah. Eastport's completely different than Annapolis. So I try and stay focused on my little sliver of the world and tune out the noise.
Yeah.
So, as far as policy, I do my best to I feel like it's changing every day. I have some good friends who are sitting down, state circle, like in the hearings and these things. So I talk to them all the time about what's coming up, what's coming down. But at the end of the day, like I don't spend a lot of time worrying about it, because if it's something I can't control, all I can control is how I'm gonna deal with the new rules or the changes or developments. But
yeah, I get you, man.
What about you?
I do a lot of reading. I try to study the market regionally, and then what is, what's hyper local, and try to, like, every single day I'm looking at what's listed, what's contracted, what's expired, what has, what's being held open this weekend, what is, like every day something, what's a broker, which broker opens are out there this week. There's all kinds of stuff. Just because I want to keep a pulse on it. With the influx of this pocket listing behavior, it's pretty interesting. Some ways I think it can be positive. In other ways, I am not a fan of it, because I do like knowing everything, and I don't want to have to rely on, keeping tabs on every single broker and agent that's out there to see what do they have in the pipeline. I realize that's part of the job, but at the same time, it makes it significantly easier when it's data fed to the agent network.
Well, how do you feel about the whole Zillow thing? Because that really, you guys are the target.
Yeah. I mean, the Zillow thing's interesting. I get it from both sides. I think that Compass is trying to push back on MLSs being the arbiter of our data by saying, no, we can control our own data if we do things this way. They have not come out internally and said anything like that, but that's just my speculation. So Robert, don't kill me if you hear this. But I think that, I think Zillow gets virtually all of their revenue through ads to agents. So if they have less inventory on their platform, that means less leads to give out to their agents, which means they could have less revenue coming in because people will drop off. So I understand them pushing back and be like, you know what? You get a private exclusive. We're not going to put it out there for you. How about that? So I kind of get it from both sides. We're being told just operate as usual.
Yeah.
I mean, until things come to fruition, we have no idea what's going to happen. Yeah. So operate as you can and do the best you can for your client. And that's your job. If you don't want to put it in private exclusive, don't do that. Yeah. If you do it.
And what's best for the client?
Exactly.
Like that's at the end of the day,
we're a fiduciary.
Yeah. Like we should have their best interest in mind.
Exactly.
And that's different for every client. So
exactly. It's different for every client. Some clients, I mean, there's certainly a lot of cases where a pocket listing could be a good thing. Maybe it's the owners don't want their neighbors to know that they're thinking about selling, or they want to test a price for a little bit and kind of get some feedback from the market. They're not totally ready to sell yet, but they're thinking about it. Maybe it's, hey, we want to sell, but we got to do this punch list of items before we can, get photos and hit the market. And it's just one way for an agent to spread the word. But, or it's a divorce or a celebrity client. Like, we don't get too many celebrities. We do get a good amount of divorces now, especially since COVID. That was a tough time for everybody. We thought about it, guys. We did, but we powered through. We're still here. But I think, like, it's not a case that should be some like routine, I don't think.
Right.
And that's what some brokerages are pushing, and including ours. Like, if you can do it and the client's okay with it, then do it that way, and do a pocket and do your test phase. And then you can go into coming soon status if you don't sell it and you don't feel like you're getting the best terms for your client, and then test the market, see what the market delivers. It's a give and take, man. There's certainly cases where it can work and be awesome, and other cases where it's like, just go to market. You would have gotten a better deal.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the trends that I'm watching closely, is this private exclusive or pocket listing trend. Kind of see how that plays out over time in the market. I'm curious to see what kind of legislation or policies get enacted on it. It's fluid for right now. Is there any other, opportunities or red flags that you're seeing out there in deals or?
Well, I think the biggest one that no one's talking about is, post all these lawsuits, I think the next round of lawsuits are going to be class action lawsuits from unrepresented buyers. So I'll never do it, but I see agents doing both sides of the deal, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And representing the seller, but have a buyer that's not represented. And then I can't believe it hasn't started already, where they come in and they have the lawyers and they're like, oh, the big bad broker and this agent took advantage of you. You didn't know what you were signing. All this shit
Exactly.
pulled. Like, the buyer side is a much easier target.
Yeah, it's significantly easier, even though, like, it's weird too, because it varies by jurisdiction. DC lets you do that. Everybody signs a form that says, okay, this one agent is going to represent both sides. And we realize that there is some conflict in there.
Yeah.
But as long as all parties are on board with the deal, it's fine.
But if you've ever been involved in a frivolous lawsuit, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the other side is completely full of shit. They'll still put you through hell in a lawsuit.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a rule. I mean, I've done it twice in my career, and which I hadn't. But I will, hands down, I tell everyone in our group, I'm like, just don't. It's not worth the money. You're gonna make a little extra money now. It's not worth the potential liability.
Yeah.
And there's too much chance too much risk to slip up and not serve your client
right
the best way you could.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's possible to represent two sides equally as one person. You can't possibly do that. Now, in Maryland, if you are the listing agent, you can exclusively represent the seller. And then there's options. Like, you can, if somebody's unrepresented, you can have them sign a form saying, hey, I'm unrepresented. I understand what comes with that. They don't understand anything. And then you could also absolve yourself from the listing and just represent the buyer. But why the frick would a seller do that? Yeah. Because they're like, well, you already know everything about our situation. So
they came unrepresented. So the seller at that time was represented. These people who are now the current owners come unrepresented. They waive inspections in lieu of the previous owner's inspections from years earlier.
Okay.
Obviously, the agent didn't have any obligation to guide them and whatever.
No.
So we get in there. I'm representing the buyer. We do all the inspections. We discovered a massive structural issue, $500,000 structural issue.
Jesus Christ.
It was actually referenced in the inspection report, but they didn't know to have an engineer come look at it, right? So now a year later, they've inherited that problem, and it's a huge problem.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to miss the entire spring market, not to mention the hassle. And who knows and that's $500,000, my understanding from the engineers, if everything goes perfect.
Right.
And half the hill doesn't collapse on it. But so, what's to keep those sellers from going back after the listing broker who they bought it from. I mean, they could easily make a case, or they could try to.
Yeah.
They're like, why? So let's say a complete honest mistake, which, I don't know the details, but at least if the other side has representation, that's their protection for
Right.
them and for
Exactly.
for us.
I mean, that's typically what we're going to advise. If a buyer, because you're going to get buyers that call you on your listings sometimes, and sometimes they don't have agents. It's like, well, I can show you the place, but I'd rather have an agent show it to you.
Yeah.
So I can send you some people. If you don't have anybody, I can send you good ones that I would recommend for something like this. That's the best way to do it, because you're kind of asking for trouble.
Not to mention, it makes you have two professionals escorting a deal through the process who know what they're doing.
Right.
If you're working with someone who doesn't have representation, they don't know how any of this works.
No.
Then it's not good for them. It's not good for us.
No. Like every now and again, you get somebody who's real savvy and knows what they're doing, but that's single digit percentage.
Yeah.
That's very rare. Do you think there's anything that you're doing differently today than you did maybe 2 or 3 years ago?
In what respect?
Just how you're operating your business.
Yeah. I mean, for me, my whole career has kind of been whack-a-mole.
Okay.
Just kind of running here and there, not organized. So, past 2 or 3 years, I've made huge steps in sort of systematizing my processes, time blocking.
Oh yeah. The age-old stuff that they always tell you to do, but nobody does it.
I've got a coach, and I love this guy, but it's so simple.
Yeah.
Work out, meditate, do that morning routine, family time, be at the office by 9:00, undisturbed till 12.
Yeah.
And then afternoons for showings and meetings and all that stuff. And it's like,
why didn't I not do this before? This is so much easier.
Close everything down.
Yeah.
And it's so that's it's all stuff I wish I would have done.
Yeah.
Right from the beginning.
Amen, dude. Especially with the workout stuff. I think it's so underappreciated because it's hard.
Yeah.
But when you do it first thing in the day, you get all that out of the way, and you're dog tired like everybody else. Yeah. But you're already, when those calls start coming in, or when you get to the office at 9, you feel like you've already been up for the day. Yeah. And like, I've already done the hardest part of my day. Yeah. Making myself do I didn't want to do.
So do you do cold plunges?
I don't do cold plunges yet. I've done them. I used to do them in college all the time. It was awesome. And we don't have a cold plunge, but that's on my to-do list, is pick that up this summer.
Yeah. So I'm slightly addicted to it. Pretty much do it every day. And the reason is kind of what you just said, because I hate cold water.
Yes, it sucks.
But I know by the time I leave to go into the shop, I've already been the most uncomfortable I'm going to be all day.
Exactly.
Force myself into that. And then it's like, all right. It's just a nice sort of mental.
It's more of a mental like resetting.
Yeah.
And it's so much, makes things so much easier, because you're like, dude, I already did the hard shit today. Taking up that phone call with the agent that bothers me, or the buyer who's kind of a pain in the ass, whatever, I'll just deal with it. Yeah. Not a big deal.
Yeah. It's impossible for you to make me more uncomfortable than
I'm. Let's talk about a deal that really tested your skills. Do you have anything that comes to mind, a really difficult deal?
The one I've told this before, but deal was challenging. It goes back. I think it's the biggest deal I've ever done from a price point, but it was complicated in that this is a waterfront farm on the Eastern Shore.
Yeah. And
there had been an orchard there, and it was, the home was like a third home to the previous owner. So
gotcha.
It was all, drive it, sort of stucco. It's like the inspection process, all that was super complicated and challenging. 2 agents on the other side. And,
was this the one with Doc and, okay. Yeah.
So, but we're getting there, and it's the day before Christmas Eve, and I swing by, because settlement, I think, was on Christmas Eve or right about there. And I swing through to just make sure the farm manager is getting all the stuff out of the house.
Okay.
So I go through the house. They're pretty good. Like there's some things they're still working on, but they'll be done by tomorrow. And I can call the client and be like, because they were out of state, and let them know, hey, we're good.
Right.
Then I swing by the barn, which is 10 years of the owners probably never went to the barn because the farm manager was 10 years of a farm manager just piling up junk and stuff and chemicals from the orchard and paint and feel like big barn packed full of shit. And he's got one little dumpster there. And I forget his name. I'm like, are you guys good to get all this out of here by tomorrow? Oh, yeah. I'm like, no, you're not.
I don't think so, but.
So I called Doc. I'm like, hey, man, this is the situation. It's not good. My client's not going to settlement with this stuff here. And I don't blame her. This is a big deal. Like, we gotta figure this out. And the other agent he was working with, she was very direct that these sellers are not going to push settlement and it's going to be a problem. So, and we got to get this done. You know, people are getting ready to go away on vacation or Christmas. So he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, he's like, what do you want to do? I'm like, well, I'm going to the hardware store. I'm going to get a pair of gloves. He's like, pick me up a pair too. I'm on the way.
Hell yeah.
Like, I'll see you there. So we meet back. In the meantime, we both start working the phones. As he's driving, as I'm going to get gloves, we're calling everybody we know. Long story short, within an hour, I think we had 15 guys.
No
all walks of life, white guys, black guys, Hispanic guys. Like, a friend of mine worked at a restaurant in St. Michael's, and I called her. I'm like, do you happen to know anybody? And she goes, Johnny. And she explained, he's like, yep, I'm on the way. So, yeah. So, you know, 2 more, I think, 30-yard dumpsters, these huge dumpsters, pickup trucks, trailers. And this group of guys got together and just worked asses off. And Doc and I had like dress clothes.
Yes, of course.
But we got it done. It took till like, I don't know, it was way dark. It was freezing. But it was a comedy errors. The last thing out, you know, then like finally done. I've got a bunch of friends at a birthday dinner that I'm already late to. Trailer breaks down. Told the client, she's like, well, that's got to be gone. I'm like, I got it. We're working on it.
We're working it.
And long story short, we got it done. And it restored my faith in people like Doc and professionals in the business that understand sometimes you got to get dirty. You got to do whatever is needed to get the deal done.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. That's a good story. Doc's a good guy, man. I like him. And it makes you think there's such a difference when you get somebody on the other side who is like, I'm hell bent on this working. So let's make it happen. Yeah. Let's do it together. Tell me what I got to do.
I don't know about you on the listing side. I explain to my clients, so we're going to sit down and if we're in a multiple offer situation, we're going to sit down and analyze all the terms. And I'm also going to analyze the agents on the other side.
Right.
Because a professional who's good to work with, who has integrity and, you know the deal is going to get done. It's going to, even if there's hiccups, we're going to get through them. And there's others, and I explain like, this person over here is probably going to be a problem at every turn. Done deals in the past. So like all terms being equal, who you're working with makes a big difference.
It makes a huge difference. And I don't know that everybody accounts for that, but I certainly do, especially if it's, hey, these things are really close. They might be off by a couple thousand here or there. I know this one's getting to settlement.
Yep.
And it's not something I have to worry about because I have experience with this person. Yep. And these other ones, I either don't have experience with or I do, and it wasn't great.
Yeah.
And,
it's sometimes if there's people, even if they bring a bigger number, you're like, yeah, you might net a bigger number. Chances are we're going to get beat up the whole way through.
Exactly. You'll end up right back where you are with this other one. Yeah. I'm with you, man. How about, let's do some rapid fire Q&A. I like this one. What's your most unusual client request?
This can't be rapid fire. Most unusual client request.
All right.
I want to answer that, but.
Craziest showing you've ever had?
Craziest showing. I did have one last year. It was appointment required, so I had to be. It's a luxury home, and I'm there walking around with the agent, who I didn't know, but seemed like a good dude, and his client, who seemed like a nice guy. And somewhere in the middle of it, he starts showing me this independent film that he's producing. This is the client. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's a really nice production value. But he's like him doing coke and like,
all right.
And then I don't know how he went from that, but he goes into his whole childhood and way too detailed.
This whole time you're like, dude, I have got to get out of here.
I'm looking at this client where the agent, he's looking at me and he's like,
What am I supposed to do with this? I don't know, man.
well, that was interesting. And then, so that same guy, the agent calls me, he's like, listen, I have to send you this email I'm about to send you. I just don't want you to think I'm crazy, but the buyer asked me to send it to you. And it was something like his proof of funds were linked back to, I looked up the address of the company. It was like a loan from this company, which was run out of a townhouse somewhere in a suburb of DC. And he would pay full price, but 10 days after ratification, the sellers would put $1 million into bonds, or so it was just like
What?
crazy
What?
scam. I said it to a few people, like, here's the fact pattern. You're like, just
That's a no.
confirm with me that I'm, because I don't want to like jump the gun. But
Yeah. Like, am I missing something here?
Yeah.
Am I missing something? I don't think so. This is crazy. We're not doing that.
and then I went into the judiciary case search, and this guy had 3 pages of lawsuits.
Oh, for God's
Against
sakes.
lenders. I mean, it was. I'm like, this is not.
That's going to be a no for me, dog. Oh, my God. Guilty pleasure. Do you have a guilty pleasure? Some people it's cigars. Some people it's cheese.
It used to be cigars.
Oh, I love a good cigar.
So did I. But my wife, it was Mother's Day, almost a year ago.
Okay.
Mother's Day. She came down. She just got certified to be a hypnotherapist.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah. She came down.
Okay.
She's like, listen, I totally forgot. I've got my first tobacco cessation client tomorrow. I need to practice on you. And I was like, all right, but just so we're on the same page, like, I'm not.
I actually don't. We've covered this before.
She's like, just shut up. I'm like, all right. So I played along, and I gave it an honest. I'd never done that kind of thing before.
No, me neither.
So I was just like open-minded, went through it, and not. Never picked up a cigar since.
What?
Yeah.
Damn. Well,
Which was actually great, because that led to, that sort of domino effect led to like working out more, eating
Right.
better, like all
Yeah.
this stuff. So,
Yeah. that's cool.
all the
That's cool.
things.
Who knew, man?
Yeah.
All right. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
For the years. Best is be honest. Treat
Yeah.
people with respect and do the right thing.
Seems easy, but in our culture, goes by the wayside.
I've got a client right now, and that's, we were talking about it because he's just a phenomenal guy, and personally and now as a client, and it's so cool to see, because he's one of these people that just does the right thing at every turn.
Yeah.
And I'm back watching it in a transaction, and what he gets back, it's like it feeds itself.
That's cool, man.
So it's neat to sit back and watch and be like, yeah, he's just doing the right thing. It all comes back. It's all karmic energy.
That's nice, man. If you weren't in real estate, what would you be doing? You'd be back in TV?
No. Somebody asked me this before. That's easy. So I'd have 2 jobs.
Okay.
I would operate an excavator during the day,
Hell yeah.
and I would bartend at some cool little funky bar at night.
I like that. Did you bartend before? You'd be good at it.
Yeah, but I'd be like the happy hour, because I get to bed early.
Yeah.
Just for like an hour or two.
Just an hour or two, and I got to go. What's one book, podcast, or film that every Dealmaker should read, listen to, or watch?
The Go-Giver.
The Go-Giver.
You ever read it?
No.
It's a parable. It's
Oh, wait, you know what? Maybe I have done it. Maybe Christy, I think Christy Neidhart might have given it to me like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'd read it. It's a short, easy read, and it's just our former CEO at England Volkers. I was up at corporate in New York at this sort of training thing, and this guy's one of the most phenomenal leaders I've ever seen in terms of his integrity and humbleness and everything. And he came in and was talking to the group, and he pulled it out.
Yeah.
And it was already one of my favorite books, and he pulled it out. He's like, if you haven't read this, read. He's like, this is my favorite book. But it's all about that. It's about connecting and doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Most unusual client request.
There's so many you forget about.
I know,
I'll get
man.
the card back. Oh,
Shit. Forgot this one.
most unusual client request. Well, it wasn't a client. years ago, I had this big, this is back when the big, the high end stuff took, months and months and months. I get a call from this would-be buyer, but he wanted to rent the place. He's asking all these, I'm asking questions, and his answers. I'm trying to nail this guy down. Like, what do you like? Do you have a kid? Like, what's? It's a big house, like big luxury, and I can't confirm it, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty obvious to me he was looking for a place to rent to shoot porn films.
Yes.
And if that had happened, oh, my clients would have lost
They would have lost their mind. Oh my God. I had, I gotta say, maybe the only, I don't even know if it was a ludicrous, actually, maybe not the craziest request, but it was kind of wild. I had an agent from New York call me once. This is probably 4 years ago. And they're like, I have a client of ours, very well known. He'd like to rent your house for Thanksgiving week. I was like, okay. Well, it's on the market for sale. We have a couple of showings, but, can you send me specific terms? He said, well, find out if your owner would be interested in it. I was like, well, he's going to want to know who it is. And he's like, well, I can't really tell you that. I was like, oh, okay. Can you give me some hints? Plays in the NBA. I was like, all right. Does he play in New York? Yes. Okay. Is he an all-star? Yes. Like, all right. Well, there's only one guy who's an all-star at that time. Does he play for the Knicks? He does. And I was like, all right, Carmelo. You said it, not me. I said, okay, cool, man. Well, I'll talk to the owner and see. And the owner was like, damn, I could have Carmelo in my house? I said, yeah, but he's going to bring his whole family, and I have no idea if it's going to be good or bad. And, it is what it is, but you'd be off the market for a week. He's like, see how much he'd be willing to pay, and then ask for twice. I was like, okay, Jesus. So we go, and it ends up not working out because my guy got greedy and just didn't feel like dealing with it. But I was like, that was kind of cool and unusual. That might be my best one for right now. But I was like, oh, almost had a house that Carmelo stayed at.
Have you had Joe Bray on here?
No, not yet.
You should have Joe on and ask him about his favorite. He had a rental, a very, 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 very prominent politician's kid.
Okay.
Let him tell you.
I'm imagining full of debauchery.
It did go well. Just because you're famous doesn't mean you're going to be a good.
No, it does not. Oftentimes it's the opposite. Yeah. All right, man. That's a wrap.
What was that first one? Did I say let's come back to it?
Oh, it was the craziest request. Most unusual request.
Hit me in the car.
You're going to hit me. It's going to hit you in the car, bro.
Send you a text. You can.
Where can the audience connect with you? Socials or online?
I've pretty much shut out of, pretty much don't get on social media at all. I've sort of narrowed in if I'm going to do anything, it's on Instagram.
Okay.
Which I guess now feeds Facebook.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
You will not find me on TikTok. Ever. But yeah, I think it's at Travis Gray.
All right.
I don't even know.
Ooh, I got at travisgray.ev Annapolis. Yeah, there you go. And on the Annapolis waterfrontguide.com.
I think that still feeds it.
Okay. Perfect. All right, guys, if you love this episode, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone trying to build a business with intention and edge. And if you're looking to buy or sell in Maryland's waterfront market, Travis Gray is your guy. All right. That's a wrap. Easy, dude.
Good.